Medina here. I would like to tell you a story called Acres of Diamonds. It was a true story which had affected millions of people. The story was the account of an African farmer who heard tales about other farmers who made millions by discovering diamond mines. These tales so excited the farmer that he couldn't hardly wait to sell his farm to go prospecting for diamonds himself. So he sold the farm and spent the rest of his life wandering the African continent searching unsuccessfully for the gleaming gem which won such high prices on the market of the world. Finally, the story goes, he went out in a fit of despondency and threw himself in a river and drowned. Meanwhile, back at the farm, the man who bought his farm happened to be crossing a small stream on his property when suddenly there was a bright flash of blue and red light from the stream bottom. He bent down, picked up the stone. It was a good size stone, and admiring it, later put it on his fireplace mantel as an interesting curiosity. Several weeks later, a visitor picked up the stone, looked closely at it, kept it in his hand, and nearly fainted. He asked the farmer if he knew what he had found. When the farmer said no, he had thought it was a piece of crystal. The visitor told him that he had found one of the largest diamonds ever discovered. Well, the farmer had trouble believing that. He told the man that his creek was full of such stones, not as large perhaps as the one on the mantle, but they were just sprinkled generously throughout the creek bottom. Needless to say, the first farmer had owned free and clear acres of diamonds that had sold them practically for nothing in order to look for them elsewhere. Well, the moral is clear. If the first farmer had only taken time to study and prepare himself to learn what diamonds look like in their rough state, and since he already owned a piece of the African continent, to thoroughly explore the property he had before looking elsewhere, all of his wildest dreams would have come true. Now, the thing about this story that so profoundly affected millions of people is the idea that each of us at this moment is standing in the middle of his or her own acres of diamonds. If we only had the wisdom and the patience to intelligently and effectively explore the work in which we are now engaged, we usually find the riches we seek, whether they be financial or intangible or both. Before we go running off to what we think are greener pastures, let's make sure that our own is not just as green or perhaps even green. It's been said that if the other guy's pasture appears to be greener than ours, it's quite possible that it's getting better care. Besides, while we are looking at other pastures, other people are looking at ours. There are a few things more pitiful to my mind than the person who wastes his life running from one thing to another, forever looking for the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, and never staying with one thing long enough to find it. No matter what your goal may be, perhaps the road to it could be found in the very thing you are now doing. Your mind is your richest resource. Let it thoroughly explore the possibilities lurking at what you're presently doing before turning into something new. Every kind of work has such opportunity lurking within it. The opportunities are there now, clamoring to be noticed, but they cannot speak or print signs for us to read. Our part of the bargain is to look at our work with new eyes, with eyes of creation. The first thing we need to do to become a diamond miner is to break away from the crowd and quit assuming that because people in the millions are living that way, it must be the best way. It is not the best way. It is the average way. The people going the best way are way out in front. Way out in front. They are so far ahead of the crowd, you can't even see their dust anymore. They are the people who live and work on the leading edge, the cutting edge, and they mark the way for all the rest. We have a choice to make, really, you and I. It takes imagination, it takes curious imagination, to know that diamonds don't look like cut and polished gemstones in their rough state, nor does a pile of iron ore look like stainless steel. There is no growth of any kind without risk. We start running risk when we get out of bed in the morning. Risks are good for us. bring out the best that's in us. They brighten the eyes and get the mind cooking. They quicken the step and put a new shiny look on our days. Don't try to run away from your troubles. Overcome them. Prevail right where you are. What we are really after is not escape from our perplexity and frustrations, but a triumph over them. One of the best ways to accomplish that is to get on course and stay there. Reinstate and reaffirm your goals. The thing you want most to do, the places in life you want most to reach. See it clearly in your mind's eyes, just as you can envision the airport in Los Angeles when you're boarding your plane in New York. We escape our problems not by running away from them, but by overcoming them. I hope this story inspires you. Have a great day.